We're currently in the beautiful province of Quezon. It's probably one of the most strangest provincial shapes we have in the country. It's really long and touches lots of other borders and provinces in the country. And as such, it has such a great variety of produce, of culture, of dishes. And over the next few weeks, we're going to take our time to kind of explore this province together, from the food, the beautiful heirloom dishes that they have, as well as all the foraging of all the fresh ingredients that we could find both in the sea and in the mountains. And I'm really excited for the journey ahead. Right now, we're kicking things off by heading to meet Ugu, one of the most notorious potters in the Philippines. His stuff is absolutely beautiful, and I've been wanting to meet him for the longest time.
The municipality of Tiaong is the gateway into the province, and just past the extremely popular Villa Escudero, you will find Ugu. There are a few up-and-coming ceramic artists in the Philippines, and most, if not all of them, will tell you that they once drew inspiration from this man. He has always been business-minded. He started off by selling bricks around Quezon and eventually ventured into making pots and earthenware. He has immersed himself in nature, which the province provides bountifully, and draws inspiration from his surroundings. The complex he has built is part restaurant, coffee shop, workshop, and rest house.
So maybe you can start by telling me a little bit about what was your vision here? What did you want to create?
Well, I want to create al fresco dining.
So this is, so you said you had 12 rooms, right?
No, I have 5.
5 rooms.
5 rooms
12,
only, yeah.
12 to 16 people can stay there.
Yeah.
And then the restaurant has been operating for how many years now?
2001, 22 years.
And all of this is, did you have an architect kind of do this?
Well, I'm the architect.
Oh, wow.
I'm a frustrated architect, and I took accountancy, and I became a potter.
Okay.
So this is the factory where
Oh, wow.
we make some orders. This clay came from Thailand.
This is from Thailand.
From Thailand. So
Okay.
then we soak it here in this area.
So
Then
you
we
mix-
process it for at least a month. Then it becomes like this.
So this is would can be considered dry already, or as dry as it can get.
Ready for use.
Ready for use. Okay.
So this is my glazing area, and this is the bisque firing.
The drying takes how long usually?
It depends on the weather. If it's windy, it's better.
Okay.
If it's sunny, it's not, because the moist
I thought
is not on it.
I thought sun was better.
No.
So wind is better.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the place where I glaze.
Yeah.
You can see all the swatches. It's by letters. So I can have bright colors because it's high fire.
Did it ever become a conscious effort to promote Filipino, like
Well,
you
yes,
said, the food,
yes,
the
yes.
culture, and all that?
Yeah, because right now, when we talk about art, Filipinos are looking for something contemporary.
Okay.
Depending on how they live, you know, it's a lifestyle.
So would you say most people come here and buy from the boutique, or most people
Buy and eat.
Yeah, buy and eat.
Buy
Okay.
and eat, yeah.
If I were today to make a custom order for dinnerware, When would be the earliest you could accept that order for?
June.
June next year?
Yes.
Crazy. I only recently got into pottery because we moved into a new house, and with that, we wanted to make very conscious decisions of every design element we had, including what we had on the table. And I've been in talks with various potters in the Philippines to get some dinnerware done. And just the process behind it and how everyone really puts their identity into their pieces is amazing. And I think this is kind of like where it all started for a lot of people. And the pieces, the imperfection, all of it is just absolutely beautiful. It comes together really nicely. And you can really feel his personality, his pride that goes into each and every piece that's made. I would love to kind of buy a bunch of these, but the sets here are quite limited, and he did mention if I did want to order, it would have to be for June 2024, which is a lot of planning, but just that shows you how much just perseverance, being able to self-teach your things and kind of like be extremely passionate, how far that can actually take you in life and build kind of like your vision from scratch, from clay, from the earth.
You can always trust a potter that cooks. Just like with his earthenware, Ugu finds a real connection with the food of his province. Using the ingredients that the area directly around Mount Banahaw provides, he cooked us a few dishes that were light and flavorful.
Simple things that make me happy. Buko juice with freshly shredded buko. And I love seeing fresh Filipino food. A lot of people think that Filipino food is brown and oily, but when you go to the provinces and you have access to beautiful produce like they do here in Quezon, even though we're not even in deep Quezon yet, you have bountiful harvests and great ingredients to kind of work with, to which you apply very simple heirloom processes, techniques, and recipes, and that is always a recipe for magic.
So ito yung kinayod na nyog. Magbabaga ka ng uling, and then utay-utay mo susunugin yung para makuha mo yung smoky taste. Ito ang mangyayari sa kanya, nagkatana. So imimix na natin ang mga ingredients. Of course, maraming bawang, sibuyas, ground pepper, asin, sugar, cane vinegar. So, haluin mo muna. And then, ito na yung kakanggata na sinunog natin kanina. So, usually, ang ginagawang kulaw ay puso ng saging, talong. Well, ang kulaw is parang kilawin. Kasi sa kilawin, ito yung ingredients. Except luya and sili. Actually, sinosok to ng ilang minutes para ma-absorb nung puso ng saging yung gata.
I'm gonna start with kind of like the most popular of all the foods that come out of Quezon and Laguna, the kulawo, which is one of my favorite. I love the use of burnt or toasted coconut in dishes. You really need to taste the smoke. It's so important. You need to taste that char. If you don't, then that flavor hasn't been enhanced enough, and you need that vinegar to cut through the richness of the gata. This would actually be perfect with our pork here. A little bit of suka. Yum. That's a meal I would have every day, no problem.
So ito yung paku salad. So imimix na natin. So cucumber, carrots, then kamatis. Then nilalagyan ko siya ng kinchay, sibuyas sariwa. And then lagyan natin yung dressing. Ano ito? Patis, calamansi, and honey. With pepper, ground pepper, and garlic.
This is really one of the ingredients I wish we'd be able to get easier in Manila. It's just so hard because it really has to be gotten fresh at the right stage of life. So clean, so fresh. Delicious.
Ito ay ang shrimp curry. Pepper, patis, kalamansi, kaunti lang. Mix natin. Bawang, maraming bawang. Luya.
We got some beautiful shrimp. So curry, when you think about curry, wouldn't necessarily think it's a very Filipino thing, but then if you've tried Filipino chicken curry, if you've tried some of our gata dishes, it has that flavor profile, and I think it's really great. And here, that sauce really just pairs perfectly with the shrimps. If you do come here, so you have to make sure that you reserve a couple of days in advance, at least 3 days, contact them, let them know you're coming. There's just some honesty to the food, which I think is so great. And I love the story about this whole place. A frustrated architect, a frustrated potter that eventually was able to kind of craft and create his dreams. And to be able to kind of create all this and to still be here and thriving 40 years after is a testament.
Next stop, the capital. This is a tight and busy place, a major throughway to the province of Bicol and to further explore the coast. I met up with Vladimir Nieto. He is the president of the Konseho de Herencia of Lucena. They focus on preserving the last vestiges of history the city has and help map the cultural heritage of the area. He grew up here and wanted to show me a slice of life of the city and its food.
Lucena is very young compared to the other municipalities that we have here. This is very young because we were established or founded in 1879 only, unlike the other municipalities. So we could say that this has been the center of trade and of commerce and industry in the province of Quezon. So this is our Chami, our very famous Chami. Cha for Chinese is eat, right?
Correct.
And mi is the noodle.
Noodles.
So you eat the noodles. So they called it Chami ever since.
So pork, lots of soy sauce, some cabbage.
This one is balibag. The regular Chami is not somewhat saucy like this.
And why is this so popular here?
Well, a lot of people are fond of eating noodles. And there's a noodle manufacturing house here in Lucena. So it became very popular here because of the availability of the noodles.
This is just like a really sweet sauce. And so you add this to the chami.
If you want.
Okay.
You can add a little of the vinegar.
I added some vinegar, which is really nice. I mean, flavor-wise, for people who have never tried chami, it really is kind of like a very soy, sweet, forward flavor. But compared to other pancit, it's a very clean dish where there's not a lot of vegetables, there's not a lot, it's really just the noodles, a really good sauce, and then the pork. Right?
Thank you.
So this is the shaw pao. It's good. It's good. It's tasty. It's really good. So when would someone eat chami here? Breakfast, lunch, dinner?
Any time of the day.
Further down from where we were, Lucena flanks Tayabas Bay. As such, they have a wealth of seafood in the area, and Vladimir wanted me to try a few things his friends gave him.
This is what we call kilay ng dalaga.
Ah, okay.
We call it kilay ng dalaga because of the shell.
I would never think this would be edible, but it is.
Yeah.
Can I try that?
That's the meat of the shell. It came from Mayao Castillo. It's somewhat like binistik as they call it.
So it has that innards-like flavor. I mean, I'm a huge shell eater. Like in France, it's something I always look for, like beautiful shells. That's actually really tasty. And then this is?
They call it puto lagkit.
Kind of looks like kuchinta.
Something like that.
But
That's
it's
why
purple.
they call it lagkit. Or puto ligan also.
Okay. Very different than
Yeah.
kuchinta.
After our quick bowl of chami, we hit the streets to see what else we could chance upon.
Hey, how are you? So this is the...
Furious ice cream.
Okay.
Dirty ice cream.
Cool, I love dirty ice cream. I think it's the best thing ever. I'll get mango cheese, please. Is this kind of a spot that you guys would come to when you were kids, or?
Yeah.
It is. Okay, how long has that been here?
More than 50 years if I'm not mistaken.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, it tastes good. I think mango and cheese is probably one of those best combinations out there. There's something about dirty ice cream that always tastes so nostalgic. Oh, yeah. This is the...
You know this? Pilipit.
Pilipit.
But this one is made from
Squash. Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Can I have one?
Original.
Wow.
Kalabasa,
Malikit.
saka
Okay.
yung may gata na may sangkaka.
How many years have you been selling this?
30 years, pero nasimula ako na 1976.
That's why it's so good. Good job.
Kaya,
Salamat. Hi po.
Hello po.
Ito po yun?
Suman Infanta.
Suman Infanta, like other suman, is made from glutinous rice and is wrapped in buri palm leaves. However, what makes it unique is its size and the way they pack it. These are quite smaller than your usual longer suman, and they weren't as sweet.
So
This
this is the
tastes-
one you tasted earlier?
No, but this tastes like the suman I grew up eating.
It's
Where
near.
that rendered coconut milk, coconut sugar flavor. Yeah, to me this tastes like my childhood, which makes me happy. Like,
Brings
I
the
haven't,
memory.
I haven't had a suman like this in a while.
Not too far away, we found a little snack that Vladimir grew up eating.
This is the bibingka.
Puto Maya.
Ah, this is the puto maya.
Yeah. It's
Would you
one
like-
of my favorites.
Would you like a half?
Yeah, okay.
Or else I'm gonna have no more space, man.
I could tell.
Yeah. What I love about this though, it's not sweet. It's really just that bukayo that's sweet. Everything else around it is very savory. Like the cassava is very savory, the coconut is very savory. It's quite nice.
I'm a huge tinapa lover. These salted, slowly simmered fish that are smoked for hours are addicting. Every province has their own specialty, and the flavors can vary greatly depending on the fish species and the woods that are being used. We were able to find a tinapa maker who was such a character and was so happy to just show us around.
No, Filipino.
Oh, Pilipino.
Yeah.
Eh, ari pugi.
I'm half. You have some Filipinos that are
Filipino,
pogi,
but
right?
pogi.
You're pogi too.
Yan po ang tinatapan namin.
Anong tipong isda yun?
Tamban. Majority.
Tamban.
Dati kasi maraming isda dito na ginagamit nila. Pero ngayon po, saan nagaling yung isda ninyo?
Bulan.
Bulan, Sorsogon.
Bulan.
Ah, really? All the way from Sorsogon?
Yeah.
Okay. From
Because of the
Quezon-
demand.
Because of the demand. Okay.
Yeah, they need to buy somewhere else.
But you can get tamban from Quezon Coast, I'm guessing, also, right?
Yeah,
Just not in the same quantities.
not enough.
So walking in here, what you would expect is kind of like a very fishy smell, but you don't. It just shows you how fresh the catch actually is. What you do get is kind of like this really warm hug from all the smoke that's happening, and it just looks absolutely beautiful and cinematic, and the flavor, the smell of the burning wood, and all of this whole thing becomes like this beautiful smokehouse for the product. If you are interested in catching the whole video, we did a whole documentary about this particular place and how they churn out all their beautiful tinapa, and where you'll be able to buy it, find it, try it, taste it, because it is really good.
Lucena is a busy city, but once you get out of the immediate area, the traffic subsides and you can truly appreciate the views that each of these towns have. We headed towards Tayabas, which is known for various historical landmarks, old Spanish colonial churches, bridges, and lots of delicious food. Manuel Quezon once described this place as the richest and the most joyful place in this province.
To be honest, aside from the techno music, it's a pretty cool town. Tayabas is really quaint, whereas Lucena is kind of like really busy and lots of happening and very chaotic. This almost has kind of like a small mountain town feel to it, and it makes sense. Like if you look around you, you are at the foothills of a lot of different mountains, and it just feels really cool. It's nice and breezy, and there's a great kind of community affair here.
When we asked people about Quezon online, we were told that there are a few things that people associate with the area, and 3 dishes kept coming up. Embutido and Hardinera. The biggest difference between both of these dishes is the pork. For the Hardinera, it's cooked and diced instead of ground, so it's a more dense version and it's cooked in a llanera. And the final dish, the beautiful Yema cake.
So let's start with the embutido first. Guessing this is banana ketchup. Flavor-wise, I like this. It's kind of like almost a pate in texture. This is really kind of like something that you could put spread on some sandwich or some bread. This is the baby that I came here for. So context,
I actually made this 3 days ago in the studio, so it's very fresh in my mind in terms of what mine tasted like. So the Hardinera does carry a bit more egg than your meatloaf would. Personally, don't take it against me, I'm not a fan of like red hot dogs, but when mixed like this with some raisins, which I'm 100% team raisin every day, it actually works. We have their Yema cake. So I'm actually really excited about this because we will get a tour eventually on how this is made in bulk. This is kind of like what made them so famous. Look at that. That's buttery, that's sweet, decadent. We have the Rodillas cheesecake. I'm not a huge fan of like spongy tea cakes, things like dry cakes. I like really soft and like buttery, lots of like ganache sauce. But it's good. If I had to choose though, I'd go back to the Yema cake. This is more my vibe. I think Anne would devour this as well. So Rodillas and the Yema cake is kind of like one of those emblematic brands that when you come to Quezon, it's like a very Filipino thing to bring like the most popular pasalubong from that area. This is one of those.
Una, itong icing, ito yung pinaka Yema. Binibeat siya to a certain consistency para smooth na before namin sa ilagay sa cake. And then after that, we cool it down, the cake. Nilalagyan na filling yung cake sa gitna.
In the middle, right?
Yeah, in the middle. Ube, caramel, and Yema.
And the most popular one, I'm guessing, is the Yema.
Yeah, yes.
With the cheese.
Kasi ito talaga yung original.
Oh, okay. Would you know how many cakes you guys do every day, more or less?
Around 700 to 800. Depends on the day.
Wow,
But
okay.
usually it peaks when it's Christmas,
Yeah.
New Year, or kung merong occasion.
Yung customers nyo, taga Quezon, or is it people from all over?
Nung una, taga Quezon lang. Mostly taga Tayabas. And then, after nun, sa mga neighboring towns na siya, like Laguna, Batangas, and even there are other resellers na taga Manila na din. All the cakes of Rodillas, dito ginagawa, dito nagagana. 2014, we started constructing this factory kasi hindi na kaya yung dami ng orders.
I mean, I had it yesterday. It was delicious, so I can understand why it's so popular. Well, thank you for allowing me to have a look. I always find interesting making quality food in bulk.
Saka, we don't really use any preservatives.
Yeah.
So it's baked freshly every day.
Every day.
Yes.
Okay, so I had this yesterday at the Rodillas restaurant. What makes this so special is kind of like that texture. Kind of reminds you of like a brazo de Mercedes in terms of the texture. So lots of egg whites to really get that texture right. But to get it right where it doesn't deflate, I think is very skillful. And that glaze or that icing of the Yema really makes it come together. And the secret cheese makes it so delicious. I'm gonna try the ube now. Beautiful color. Just a slight hint of ube, which is nice. And finally, the caramel. You get a texture that in my idea, the texture is so much more palatable here. It's light, it's airy, it's fluffy, making it so easy to kind of consume it in really large quantities. And seeing how it's so professionally done and so efficiently done kind of just basically gives you a glimpse as to why these are so good and why they're so loved in Quezon. We decided to kick off our provincial series this year with Quezon. We covered a lot over a few days, from how to make pinais and forage for that, about the long lost Filipino leaves and vegetables that more people should be using in their kitchens, to a couple of food trips with myself, just stuffing my face as usual. We shot some fishermen as well on the coast, catching some really unique shellfish and clams. And there's just many more stories that we're gonna unearth. This is just the start of 2024. There is so much to come, so much more to explore. We did so much in 2023 in terms of all the provinces that we visited, all the people that we met, and all the stories that we featured and showcased on FEATR. And we will definitely go back and revisit those provinces, because obviously through 6 or 7 videos, there is no way that we'll be able to cover a complete province. We try as much as possible. So this year, we're gonna be going back to Negros, we're gonna hit Dumaguete, we're gonna do Cebu, we're also gonna do hopefully Jolo, and just lots of different places, and Mindanao, Maranao, Lanao del Sur, and kind of like all those areas. There is just so much to cover in the country, and thank you very much for all the fans and all our viewers and everyone who watches and supports what we do in FEATR. We are here because of you, and we can keep doing what we do because of you. So thank you if you finish this video and listen to this message until the very end, and let's get ready for like a crazy, awesome year.